Hello, I'm John. I do the smokeless powder guns on this channel, and my buddy Dimwit, he does the black powder guns. And let's have a closer look at the gun that killed Putin. And we'll talk about the gun first, and then we'll talk about the killing. And it's quite an interesting gun. It might not be quite what you think it is. So we'll talk about this gun and the history of these guns and what I've done to it. And this is an Isme model KB, or Ish KB. And it's the forerunner of the Baikal Ish 18 or model 18, and they still make that today, but this is a little different. You see the safety is up here on the tang, not down here, or here is on the model 18, and you have a loaded chamber or cocked action indicator, or for lack of a better word. And I'm not sure if the Model 18's got that. And there's a rear sight even that can be drifted to each side if needed. And the Model 18 rear sight is just milled into the receiver. And this receiver is a little bit slimmer and lighter. And they started making a whole series of these single barrel shotguns at the Isme factory in Izhevsk in 1949, and they still make them. So, and here is the factory logo, and it says 1963, and it's a 16 gauge, as you can tell. And underneath here it's got the communist star. And and the action is pretty clever, really. You push this and it opens and extracts the cartridge. And I use these reloadable brass Magtech cartridges. I load them with black powder, and I have a couple of videos where I show you how to do that. And this one is primed, so we'll put this away. And I load it with birdshot or buckshot or round bolt, or 3 buckshots and a round bowl, which we call buck and bowl. So check out those 2 videos if you want to look into how you do that with very simple tools. And okay, let's see. You can, if you want to put the gun away for storage, you can let the hammer, the internal striker or hammer down without dry firing it, and you just use this that you use to open it, but you don't push it quite as far, and then you can pull the trigger and you kind of catch that hammer and let it down gently. So that's nice. And and when you open it, it cocks. And if you for some reason have lowered well, that doesn't work. Well, I've done this before and I seem to be able to lower the striker with the gun open, and when you close the gun it will cock. That was my impression. So it's got the safety here. Now that it's off, now it's on. You can see that safety's on, safety off, and watch this. So that's pretty neat. And so what did I do to this gun? Well, first of all, it had an unusually long length of pull. So I shortened the stock down about 1/2 inch. And I cut the barrel down and installed a new front sight. And I made one of these tompions that I usually make for my muzzle loaders to keep snow and dirt and rain out of the barrel. So it's quite a handy gun. Of course, now it doesn't have a choke, but when I load these cartridges with black powder and bird shot, I put some muffin mix in with the shots, and that seems to help reduce the spread. So it's got its limitations on longer ranges, but very light and handy, nice to carry. I'm trying to focus in on that ornate left side of it. And, ooh. So, and I have also shortened the forestock down a little bit. It was maybe 3/4 of an inch or more longer, but it was extremely pointed and it had a little bit of damage. And it had floor varnish on it that I had to take off, and I kind of stained it and used a wax finish on it. And to take it apart, you got this lever under here. Take this off and it all comes apart. So, how in the world did this gun kill Putin? Well, a little more than 2 years ago, Russia invaded the Ukraine, and about a week after that, my buddy Dimwit, he traveled back in time and killed a young soldier, and he took his cap as a souvenir, and inside the cap there was a name. Let's see, V. Putin. So thanks to time traveling, that's where he ended his days, back in 1971. And if you haven't seen that video where Dimwit kills Putin, you really should watch it. I'll put a link down in the description, and you can watch it and pay attention to. Dimwit is actually quite serious for a little while there towards the end of the video, and he talks about how he feels about this war in Ukraine. And actually I'm quite impressed with what he said, Dimwit being such a simple man and all. But he was under the impression that the Ukrainian people and the Russian people were very much the same, and I tend to disagree. Basically, I think the Ukrainians got bigger balls. Ukrainians are willing to fight to the extreme to protect their freedom and independence from Russia, and this war is Putin's war, not the Russian people's war, but the Russian people are probably the only ones that can end this in a good way. The Russian people just don't seem to have the balls to get out there on the street and take their country back and establish democracy. And Dimwit had some opinions about this, and I would encourage you to watch that video. I think he did well. It was made just over a week after the war started, after all. So, and this gun only weighs 2.5 kilos, and I'll put down in the description how much that would be in pounds. And it is 96 centimeters long, and that's 37 3/4 of an inch. And the barrel is 56 centimeters, which is 22 inches, and it's quite short. It's not really short, so it works. And yeah, there you go. Don't forget to watch that other video. I'll put it down, put a link down in the description. And let's all hope that the Russian people take to the streets and take their country back and get rid of this terrible Putin. Or else, I don't know, is he crazy enough to... This is already turning into a war between Russia and NATO, and it's getting uglier all the time, and I wonder if Putin is crazy enough to start a nuclear war. And that will be the end of the world as we know it. So it's pretty hard to get to Putin, but if you can, you should, and put a stop to this. And if all the Russians head for the streets and demonstrate, and I think the Russian people will win their war against Putin. And I think those Russians that are wearing Putin's uniform, being police officers and giving the Russian people a terrible time, I think they'll be pretty quick to get rid of their uniforms, and they'll change side in this conflict. And this has been done before. It's been done in Russia before, and it's been done in a lot of these Eastern European former communist countries. So it can be done. It has to be done. Nobody can do this for you. And I really feel sorry for the Ukrainian people. It's terrible, and it's going to take a lot of time and money to rebuild that country, and you can't bring back those who died, and those who are still living, they'll be scarred for life, and this is going to take generations to fix. Maybe there ain't no fix to it. So that's it for now. Good luck to all of us, except Putin.